Yo, yo, yo. What is up, you party animals? Welcome to another Lefty Live on a Thursday night. Got my boy Ben here. Talk about the SharpShooter Jack. What up, Ben?
What up, Kev?
It's cracking, dude. How you doing?
Good. It's been a busy day. A lot of running around, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been a crazy month, dude. I barely remembered that the drop was tomorrow. I swear I thought it was next week for some reason. I don't know why I had the 23rd in my head, even though that's not even Friday, is it?
No, you just made that up, I think.
Yep, totally. I think I might even put that in the unboxing I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let's see who's here. Marco, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Ground
What's up,
fog.
Marco? Ground fog.
Pretty fly for a knife guy. Give you guys the fireworks. See if they work. There we go. They're working. Neville predicts. Oh, he's got them going too. Look at that. Neville predicts I'll be here on time. I think he was correct. We are within a minute of start. Good job, buddy. B Shady, what up, dude? Channel member. Homer, what's going on, man? Crazy Roach is a channel member. Let's see. Drink Water channel member. Lots of ball sacks I can't see, unfortunately. I hate that. Hopefully you can see them on your end. What does it show on their end, I wonder, when you do that?
I don't know. I just see the word lefty ball sack written here about 500 times.
I know, it's great.
Which to the uninitiated would be very strange.
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of strange. Let me see. Hold on. I want to see. Let me pull up the live stream. LeftyEDC.
It's good to see all you guys in the chat.
It just says ball sack, ball sack, ball sack, ball sack. So it's the same thing. Great.
Nice.
Lord Needham. What's up, dude? Channel member says, what storm? We have like a snow thing coming in to our area. I don't know. I just got to come up with fucking titles, man. What do you want me to do? There's a drop tomorrow. That's a storm. You know?
We have Arctic storm.
There you go.
Quick on the draw here. I could have been a little more clever. Of course. Oh, dang it. Where is it? This one. Arctic storm.
Oh, with the black. Yeah, dude, I was pretty torn between the Snowfire one and the glow one. That looks sick though. Yeah. I got my OG one here right now. I did end up getting the Snowfire, but I sent it off to get an edge put on it with my after hours jack. But I got this one. It's a stand-in.
There are not many of those in existence. That one you got there.
Dude, I got one of every one of those because I got carbon fiber on the whole first run or whatever.
Yeah, the first 6.
So I always get people trying to get my K9, trying to get my Benny's clip. So they were trying to get my Midnight until you re-released that one.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
Yeah, you should have thrown like a P1 on the bottom of the can or something.
Well, the label's different and the blade steel's different.
Oh, right. The label's different?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then there you go.
Yeah, I had to do something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this Lefty Strix is sick.
Dang.
Definitely.
Tell me that's not a production knife.
What?
That's not a production knife, is it?
No, it's custom.
Yeah, it looks like it. That barking is dope.
The only custom that I've actually like really fell in love with. Usually they just have too many little annoying OCD things for me. You know?
Does that not have a lock bar insert?
Nope.
Just carbonized.
It, though.
No, as long as they treat the lock face.
Yeah, there's no stick at all. That's one of the things with customs, but no, there's none here. Yeah, Greg's a beast, dude. There's no play, there's no rock, there's no stick. The action is, as good as you want it to be. I can loosen it, but I like keeping it, tight.
Toy like
Beautiful.
a toyer.
I mean, look at this rock pattern he did on the spine of the blade.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
That goes all the way down to the tip, travels all the way up, all the way around this fucking thing. And then the bark pattern on the bolsters.
Oh God, there's
carbon fiber.
Oh, hold on a second. Go back to that. Go back to how do they do that? How does that pivot?
What he did was he took a big pivot screw, he mills it out, and then he glues in a piece of carbon fiber. So you still have the screw as the bottom part, I guess. You see guys do it a lot with that. What's his name? He's local to me. Why can't I remember? He does like meteorite fucking inlays and pivots and shit.
That's cool. I like that. I like that. So it's got some kind of D-shaped pivot, right? Since you can't really capture that one side.
No, it's spinning. All these guys do spinning pivots in their customs. They fit really tight, I guess. So they don't usually have issues. But I did have to because initially I Loctited this side, and then I noticed it was kind of like loosening up a little bit. This side actually walked out. So then I just took this out with like a piece of rubber, and then I just Loctited this down as tight as I could. And it's perfectly centered. There's no play. Everything's good. But yeah, it's definitely a spinning barrel in there.
Yeah, perhaps not the most practical if you're trying to take it apart all the time, but like
once
it's set right, leave it alone.
Yeah, you're not gonna take it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You would hope though, if you did want to take it apart, you just this side would come loose.
Yeah.
But what Greg told me, he even sent me a piece, is he uses rubber.
Yeah, just put it on some rubber to get some traction.
I've tried it so many times on different things. It doesn't help me at all. So he must just be a lot stronger, or the way he's doing it is somehow differently. But anyway, I haven't had to worry about it. It's fucking dialed. I love this thing.
Nice. Looks good.
But yeah, I'm definitely not a custom guy, It's just, I don't know. I always find faults in those. I'm more of I like this kind of stuff, the like high-end CNC custom sort of shit.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to know where the line is sometimes because so many custom makers are using CNC for portions of their processes anymore.
It depends, right? Like this is a small batch production, I would call it. They call them customs, and you can. I mean, they do finish work, but like this, Greg does everything by hand.
Yeah. Is he cutting out scales out of sheet metal?
Hundreds of hours, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting part of the art form, but it's tough to make it economically feasible just because of the time that goes into each knife. Yeah,
and you would think like, oh shit, like I paid $1,700 for that. That's a lot of money, but like think about the amount of time he spent on it. He probably should charge like $3,000 for a knife, but then it's like, will you sell them?
That's why art is, rarely valued at the time it takes to produce it, just because, oh, there's Austin. What's up, man?
What up, Austin? I was actually carrying a prototype nip slip. This one's from Concept. We didn't end up going with them, but this one's got 80s and a blackwash blade. But I was carrying
Interesting, the wedge. Hold it there for a sec. Yeah, okay. Like that plunge grind's at an angle, and it's like straight.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's how we designed it. I need to see these other ones, but the QSP one I think is on a little bit of an angle too. That's who we ended up going with. But they did a full height hollow, and the scales are fully contoured. These are just flat, which that was kind of the killer.
The plunge grind is like a parallel line to the bolster when it's open, which I can see that's what Colin did there. It looks good.
That's probably what he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up going with QSP. We're actually just putting that order in, and that one's going to be traditional pocket knives exclusive. So
Nice.
yeah.
Did he do the nips? I can't remember.
No, he did a version of the nip.
Right.
But then he did the lush.
That's
but
it.
slip joint just made a lot of sense with Austin, and we really enjoyed working with him. So we just wanted to do more stuff. So
yeah, good
excited
as gold,
about that one. Chris Henkel, what's up, man? Channel member.
What's up, Chris?
So since we were just talking about the sharpshooter, obviously, you want to run through the versions?
Yeah, let's do that. So let me just get them all out of their slips here for a second.
Did you guys do a drop, like a slip drop recently? I think I remember.
Yeah, I did.
Are they gone?
Today's Thursday. Almost. There was we did it on Tuesday, and I had a batch of Natty Butero with teal thread. We had some mediums and some larges. Medium fits almost everything. Large is like the 4-inch guys. Benny's Clip, Cyborg,
Right.
it'll fit a vampire, stuff like that. And then we had 2 different colors of extra large. So like after hours gunslinger would go in the extra large. There was black with Havana, and then there was whiskey with black. And there's maybe 6 slips left, and we had 58 of them we put up.
Are they on your site?
They're on my site. Yeah, we only announced them into the Facebook group because, man, I really regretted last time I blasted the email list because there was not enough. Like, Troy can't make enough. And then there was all these people mad at me that they couldn't get one. And I was like, next time I'm just going to promote it to the Facebook group. And if there's enough left, I'll make an Instagram post. And I wasn't even able to do that. So there's there might be a couple large Buteros left. And there's some extra large whiskeys.
All right. So you guys are looking for slips for your Jack Wolves, or I guess other stuff.
Yeah.
You can pick those up at jackwolfknives.com.
For sure. And the dimensions are on there. So if you wanted to look for a different knife. Okay, so let's go through this. So we'll start with the one I just showed. Might as well. So this is, why don't we talk about the changes to the V1 and the V2 first? Why don't you hold up yours?
Sure.
And show the nail nick, or what we would call the mark side. Okay, so the most obvious change, I guess, is the long pull versus the crescent. And I think the gun stock looks good both ways, and it's fun to do something different. The next big change would be the bolster configuration. It's longer, and there's a triple flute. Then we've enlarged the sharpening choil. This is based on user feedback. Doesn't make everybody happy, but I think the majority of people prefer that. And then the spring is maybe about 25% stiffer. If I had to put a number on it, I would say it's a 6.5 or 6.5 and a 7.5 is how I would describe it. And arguably it's perfect. It's damn good. The walk and talk on these is insane. Like jumpy, snappy. They make all kinds of poppy noises, like really good. So this one is DLC metal with fat carbon Arctic Storm. First time we've done black and blue on the whole knife. Oh yeah, S90V versus M390. Thank you. And so DLC everything, Arctic Storm.
Did you do a triple down at the bottom too, or no?
No, I played in CAD. I kept trying to tweak that bottom bolster, make it bigger, add a double flute. Okay. I just came right back to where I started. I was like, anytime I move it, I'm unhappy. So I just kept it. So that's that one. Then this is Snowfire, which is the one Kevin got. And I had not actually seen this yet. I knew Fat Carbon came out with a few new ones. They are Frost, Snowfire, and there's one called Pines Peak.
Yeah,
Frost is blue and white. Yeah. And I was interested to try them because I'm a big fan of the white on any of these carbon fibers. I think it provides amazing contrast. Kind of ties in the lighter shade of the blade into the scale.
And it fixes one of the issues with fat carbon, which is occasionally you get these like little white spots in it.
Yeah.
That if you have it inherently in there, you're not going to have to worry about it, I guess.
Yeah, we've had to reject pieces because of those white spots here and there. It's never a huge problem, but it is kind of a persistent thing. The other issue, well, just to digress for a second, is on dark matter you'll get voids that you don't get on the designer series stuff. So this has a hand satin blade and frost, so really cool. And there's no way people have a bunch of frost in their collection. It's too new. So hopefully guys are looking to. All right, I didn't mean to say frost, Snowfire. Sorry, keep doing that.
I haven't seen it, I think, other than maybe a Riot something, but
Maybe some XOs. They were doing some of. I think so. They were doing some. But like, look at this thing jump.
Yeah, it's nice.
See it. It's good stuff. Okay, so that's Snowfire. Then we'll do kind of the plain Jane configuration. Jig tie, belt satin. We usually like to have something that isn't so far off the reservation for guys that are just looking for the kind of more traditional look. And you wouldn't know it, but they've had jigged metal on traditional knives going back 100+ years. Obviously, it wasn't titanium; they would do steel back then,
right?
But there's a precedent for that. So maybe to some people, to me, it's starting to look boring. In all honesty, because I'm all about this crazy shit.
Right.
But we try to have something for everybody. And then, of course, I didn't bring my flashlight. I'll have to go grab it so I can show this off. But this is dark matter glow. And it's cool because it's like an ace up its sleeve, right? It just looks like marble carbon fiber until you blast it with a torch.
Right. Well, that's the good thing is it doesn't look like shit normally.
Right.
That's a lot of times the way it goes with glow stuff.
Yes. Either it's just going to be like green in the daytime, and then it's obvious what it does, so it's not like a party trick, or there's like chunks of white and it looks weird,
Right. Now, does it glow if you torch it, or does it only glow with the UV like the camo stuff?
It'll glow if you torch it. I'll go grab a flashlight in a bit. And then last but not least,
you don't want to talk about flashlights here, man.
I do. It will end up there somehow, some way.
You'll start a thing.
And then last but not least, reverse tux, which on a slip joint is super dope because of
I love reverse tuck,
spring. Yeah. Like there's something to that black spine, and that shot is just cool right there. So yeah, reverse tux, good old fashioned reverse tux.
That's actually a sexy ass looking one, dude.
Dude, I haven't been able to kick this one out of my pocket, and there's a little more weight to it, even more than the jigged one, because the jig's relieved.
Right.
They're like 0.2 ounces lighter. Like this one feels like a traditional knife.
I always love a good reverse tux.
Very handsome.
Yeah. That's pretty
and
sexy.
And the blade well is black too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
nice.
So yeah, I think it's a strong lineup. Yeah, let me know which one you guys think is the coolest. Like, even if you're not buying, which one would you buy?
Paul Mills, channel member. Shout out to you. David Von Steenberg. Love that guy's name. Let's see. I think I got you. When you pin the comment, we see what you see. Got it. Okay, I'm that far behind. Skipping ahead. That was the beginning.
Really far behind.
I think I saw JD for EDC with a membership earlier. Let me see if I can find that. There it is. There we go. Shout out to JD. Thank you, dude. Oh no, I gotta give you the rock and roll. Yeah, you're not gonna catch Ben doing the head shake, but slip joint guys don't disassemble. What did we say about disassembly?
We were talking about your custom.
Oh, yeah, but that's taking a pivot slip joint.
I know, but he was just saying, it's not a thing for slip joint guys. They don't got to worry about it.
We're always in the same chat, so it gets confusing sometimes. Let's see. All I'm saying is full DLC with a maple burl inlay.
Maple burl. One challenge with wood is you can't always import or export all wood species. And so with wood, if like whatever they have over there is what I would consider using, at least at this time. I'm not trying to send wood over there.
Right. Yo, what up, ATR? It's cracking, dude. It's cracking, man. Good to see you. You know what was funny? This week I got a package in from one of the dudes in my pass around group because he kind of flaked out and he had like a bunch of shit for like months. So he sent me back this box just full of stuff that I had to send back out into pass around. One of them, dude, was the Venom Jack you gave me. I don't even remember when you gave it to me, dude. You gave me like 3 Venom Jack or 3 Jacks for I don't know if it was like 10K.
Yeah, it was a milestone. 10K.
So I mean, I don't know when that was. 6 months, almost a year ago, maybe. And then I gave 2 away and I passed 1 around, and that one's still going around. It's still got like half a list. It's crazy.
Nice. That's a good knife.
Yeah. What up, Chris? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Chris. Be seeing
Dark
him soon.
Is the best. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that one does look pretty sick. You're making it harder and harder, which is good, Usually I'm like, okay, this one. But now I'm always like, there's these 2 that stand out to me, but then as time goes on, I'm like, oh, maybe, so that's really good though that you're making it. It's not just like, okay, 80s, or whatever.
Right.
Which I think, how have you, that's a question I have is, have you noticed a difference since you switched from, obviously there was a big difference when you switched from 4 micarta, 1 carbon or 3-1 to all carbon. You obviously must have seen a jump at that point. Have you seen what's the trend been since you switched to 2 full tie, 3? Is that what it is?
Well, yes, in this case, there's 2 full tie. It's whatever we kind of feel like doing now. I want to have at least a full tie. Sometimes there's 1, sometimes there's 2.
Okay.
It's been, honestly, the trend has been there's really not a trend anymore. Like, it's harder now to predict what will happen. When we were doing 4 micartas in a carbon fiber, you could reliably predict the carbon fiber would be the one that first went,
Right.
The Kirinite has been a top seller the 3 times I did it. So that's a trend. Don't know if it will always stay that way, but it's just looks really good on these knives. It just works.
Yeah.
You've fat carbon
blacked out every time, right?
Except no, because I did Little Bros with the Crystal Lake.
Oh yeah, and those did well.
It was the most popular variation.
I fucking love that knife, dude.
Yeah. There's still quite a few of those in stock. Timing wasn't the best with November, all the discounts. So it's a sleeper, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we sold a good amount of them, but there's still a lot in stock.
That's kind of surprising because this is one I feel like a lot of people were waiting on.
I mean, I was surprised. I just think November is a really hard time to sell something at full price. I mean, the amount of deals out there was just crazy.
That's true. A lot of Black Friday. I mean, that's always my biggest month for affiliate stuff.
Yeah.
Black Friday into Christmas is always like, honestly, it's like Halloween into the end of the year is like just, it's nonstop when it comes to like affiliate stuff. Because there's people doing sales left and right and all types of shit.
Yeah, Black Friday starts like October 1st nowadays, it seems like.
Yep.
So. But yeah, and I would say full tie has never been the most popular.
Which one?
Anything in full tie. And I really thought that would be strong. I know for other brands and other, knife categories, it's always the winner. But and then the other thing is fat carbon continues to be strong, you know, and like you'll hear people say like, oh, it's getting played out. It's getting played out. I'm like, I'm not seeing that.
Are you saying fat carbon versus camo carbon, or just
just
material in general?
Colorful carbon fiber. Like,
I mean, love I can put shit, dude. Yes, I have people tell me it's a fad, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I just fucking love it. And there's so many variations of it, and there's so many different ways to play with it that it's hard to play it out because you know, and
exactly.
And we're seeing people like fat carbon, like camo carbon, where they're changing it up slightly here and there. Like you're seeing Flow Party and whatever, and you know, just kind of tops the next one. Where for a while there, it was like 80s was the coolest looking one. I was really surprised when we did the Lush drop. I honestly thought going into that, the 80s would be the one that would do like the least well, because I was like, it's one of those like loud minority things. But no, it was just like that one sold out in like 5 minutes.
You know, just dope is dope. And there's, you know, that's what I think. And, you know, with these carbon fibers, okay, so first of all, the fit and finish is always the best because you can mill it perfectly, you know, so you're never going to be, as long as the OEM's doing the job, you're never going to be disappointed on the fit and finish with that stuff. And there's so many different colors. It's almost like its own category now, just like wood. Like if you like wood, there's all these different species of wood. Well, if you like carbon fiber, now there's like 50 different variations.
I'm a carbon fiber guy because it's lightweight. So you get the lightweight nature of it that you get with G10 or micarta, which you don't get with titanium and shit like that. But then it has rigidity and everything, which to me is better than micarta. And I don't like the patina aspect on anything. So you get all those things. And then I feel like it does tend to allow for good acoustics too. So you just get like a good combination of things. Here's my flashlight carry today. Check it out. I got my Hanko machine.
When did you buy a Hanko, dude?
Dude, I got them all now, basically.
Remember when I told you about Hanko like 2 years ago?
Dude.
It was back when you would never carry a light that thick. It was when I got my Okluma and I showed you that thing and I was like, dude, have you ever heard of Hanko? I'm like, check it out on Arizona Custom Knives. They were like $1,200, $800.
I got this for retail, but yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. I put a Dragon engine in here. I got the glow gasket.
You have gone all in.
Yeah, dude. All in. I got like 20 or 25 of them now.
What's retail on that thing?
800, I think.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's not
that could be the first.
I want another one. No. Immediately got it, and I was like, I want another one.
Yeah, they're the best, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it took about 1 day. I got the somebody, I forget who it was. It was Kyle Coonley and Happy Haptics. They convinced me to try the FocusWorks F2, which is like $180 custom 14500 light, right? It's a little thicker than the Okluma. I had the Okluma like years ago, and I thought it was too thick then. But they convinced me to try it. So I got the F2, carried it for like a week. I fucking loved it. And then it was like game over. Then I was trying to buy every 14500, and then I was like, I'll try the little CWF Peanut that's a little thicker this size. Got that, and then it was just over because I was like, oh, I can carry these. It's no problem. What else can I find? Well, it turns out there's not that much to find, but I pretty much ripped through 90% of it by now.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Arctic and the Snowfire are the best ones.
Yeah, so Chris is a carbon fiber guy.
Yeah.
I need to charge up this glow. Let me go get it.
Yeah, but that's a completely different thing, Bill. Is a slip joint, you know, going in that it's not going to lock up. Like, you know that it is a slip joint. But a button lock is it has lock in the word. It's supposed to hold up to some kind of force, right? But I do feel like the whole spine whack thing gets out of hand. I did a video on this. I feel like a knife should be able to withstand pressure on the spine, which is kind of, if you think about it, that's the difference between a slip joint and a locking knife, right? Like this, I can push here and it doesn't close. This will close, right? I don't know where spine whacking came into the equation. Like, I don't really get where whoosh, whoosh, whoosh came into the equation. Like, I do think that your knife should be able to withstand one decent whack, but like, you kind of just made the point there is slip joint, lock, right? So this knife, I can close with pressure. This knife, I can't. Who cares about whacking it? Like, that doesn't make sense. So
that's what she said.
That is what she said for sure.
All right, so we'll do a little. Let's talk about anything besides that, if that's cool. So here's some before and after. So flashlight for today is the Mod Light OKW.
Mod light. Okay.
This is a tactical light.
It's got. Do you have a holster or?
No, this is a Theorem. This is by.
Does it go in your cross chest?
No, it's like if you're using it. Trying to remember how this works. So like if you're shooting, you can flip it like this, or if you want to use it, it's like that. And then it gives you also a pocket clip. But this thing, dude, get this outside and it's fun to play with because this head, this OKW head, is candela over lumens. And so this thing has this tight beam that goes like 300 yards. And it's crazy, dude. It's like a spotlight. You can light all the way down your street with it. It's sick. It doesn't have the same amount of flood. Like a lot of lights are more flood dominant, so they've got a lot of lumens. This thing is all about the candela. So anyway.
That's cool. Yeah, dude, check this thing out.
I just blinded myself.
I got this in this week.
What is that? It's like the new mag light
from Olight, dude. This is called the Javelot Pro. It goes like 1,000 meters. It's fucking insane. I took it out to a field and tested it yesterday. Yeah, it's pretty intense, dude. Oh, that does look nice.
Yeah. How hot does that thing get, man? After like 5 minutes, that flashlight.
Well, it has a really long handle, so it'll sit on turbo, I think they say 5 minutes, which is pretty good.
Charge up the other side.
Comes in a fucking case, dude. Look at this.
Yeah, that's legit. Kevin, I should send you this Mod Light just so you could play with it. Because I'd never use it.
What?
I should send you this Mod Light just so you could play with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of. What do those cost?
I think the whole light with the body and everything was maybe like $300, $350.
Oh, Jesus. Why did you... Who suckered you on that?
I've had it for a while. I mean, they make weapon lights like that, you know, you can mount to your rifle and stuff like that. But they're some of the best lights you can get, and they're extremely durable, you know, so you're paying money. It looks like
it might be pretty good without all the shit around it. Like, if it was just the head and the body and a clip, I feel like I might be into it.
It's not meant to have I mean, it doesn't come with a clip. Well, let me see if I can get this stupid thing off. It's forever a mystery, Palmer. So here's
I think you read it.
Here's and they make a long one that takes 2 batteries. And it would
is it an 18350?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh wait, that's not the battery. Duh. $18,350.
Yeah.
1200 milliamp.
What kind of 18350 you got there? They have their own?
This is EE Power or something. I don't know. Does that look familiar?
Oh yeah, dude. That's Keep Power. But that looks like a
Keep Power.
protected one.
How do you know?
They give you a protected 18.
This might. I mean, I might have bought some extra batteries at some point. I don't remember.
No, those are good. But those are yeah. So here, look. This is the same battery. Well, no, it's the same company, but this is unprotected. So that has like a chip down here, that gold thing.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
It's a little longer, and it has a little chip down there to protect it from like fully draining or whatever.
Oh, so that it pretty much is toast at that point if that happens.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think it's bad for the battery if it gets below a certain volt. So like the lithium ion batteries, they go from like 2.5 volts to 4.2 volts. And like, if they go under that 2.5, it can be, I don't know if it's just bad for the battery or if it can be like like it can light on fire or something.
Right.
But those ones have a little chip that when it gets to that, it just kind of stops working.
Got it.
So you can't fuck it up. But because of that, they can't have high discharge rates. So they're shitty for lights like this, where you're trying to get like, more lumens, you're trying to get a little more output. But it makes perfect sense for that, where you're saying they're not trying to get a ton of output. They're just trying to have runtime, basically.
It's different. It has to do with it's candela versus lumens. You like to go down the rabbit hole. You should look into that because this thing still has a tremendous amount of output. It's just the way these heads are designed. It concentrates the beam and sends it out.
Right. But it's not using a lot of voltage, I guess, because it has
I don't know how that works.
Because it has a low max continuous discharge. Somebody could tell us who knows more, but like that battery probably has a 3 amp max, where these are like 10.
I see. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, like when you start getting into this flashlight stuff, for me, it becomes a little overly technical. Like, oh, I got to have this battery, not that battery. And I got to set the charger to this setting and not that setting. I'm just like, over the top of my head.
Have to, but like for me, it's been good to just learn at least the basics of all that shit. I'm not an expert by any means.
You'd have to enjoy it. If you enjoy it, hey, man, you can nerd out. Like, oh, it's got this engine or that engine, and it's written in this code and that code. And it's like, I loses me, but.
Right. Let's see.
I'm going to send this to you, Kev. You can play with it. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all have opinions about stuff, and that's cool, but I'm just like ready to move on to something that maybe we can mostly agree on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I feel like we're just going around and around.
You guys have any Yellow Day energy? No, but I know Chris. I've hung out with Chris a few times at shows. He's a good dude. He's from Canada. His lights are a little bit, even 18350, his lights are a little bit bigger, like fatter than I like. But they look cool. Like the Wreck-It looks cool. So yeah, he's got some cool stuff. The Illuminati is in the community. Ordered a slip and a hat, man. I better get to bed. Much love.
Thanks, B.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go too long tonight, guys. I got a big meeting in the morning I gotta go to, like ass crack of dawn. Sucks.
Hey Brian, I hope I have that hat for you because someone ordered a hat this morning and I grabbed it out of the bin and that was the last one. I think I know where there's one more. If not, I'm gonna have to owe you a hat just for the record, or I'll refund you. But I got to get more made. They won't take long. I wasn't picking on Ben about the bike light. I had mountain bike tonight before we had some serious lights that go on the helmets. Yeah, man. I mean, being able to see is important. Yeah, this is probably the coolest flashlight I've ever owned for outside. Like I've taken my other ones out there, my Okluma and my CWF, and they flood an area, which is good. But on this one, I can point it down my street and like light up the house that's all the way at the other end of my neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so freaking cool.
He designed it to just be good at diffusing light in a small area.
Yeah.
And Charles did a really good job with the micro click, where it can do decent, has decent throw, but I mean, it's not going to be like that, you know?
Yeah. I have a question. Were you resistant to updating your slip joints to new materials like fat carbon and DLC PVD? No, definitely not. I was more than pleased when the fat carbon took off in the beginning because I preferred it. Not necessarily preferred it. I just had a lot of micarta. I kind of thought micarta was what the market wanted. And when I found out that the fat carbon was what suited people on these knives, I was ready to go all in with it. And I like the fit and finish better. It will always be better on carbon fiber than micarta, just based on the nature of the material. The insane precision that you can mill this stuff is just outstanding.
Yeah, micarta will break apart and shit like
well,
that.
And like it'll shrink and swell the tiniest bit, especially at the edges where it's been cut. And I mean, it's got its benefits, but for these knives, the modern interpretation of the classic knife, to me, the carbon fiber is very. There's a lot of rationale there.
Good.
Yeah, it just depends on what you like. I think visually, like if you were to close your eyes and feel some of this carbon fiber, it doesn't feel special. You know, there's no real texture to it. It's just smooth. It feels like plastic.
Right.
The stuff that has the real colorful stuff, you can feel the. I think these are ceramic powders, and you can kind of feel that. But micarta, you can feel. A canvas micarta, you can feel. And so I get why people like that.
Right.
Are you going to bring more Kirinite to your knives? Yes, definitely. Now, I'll tell you one thing about Kirinite. It's not always available in the quantities needed for production runs. I'm dealing with that right now. But until I'm really happy with it. And I like that the Kirinite is a polished finish. So it's a nice alternative to these carbon fibers that are more matte presentation. You know, they go well together. It's like, ooh, this or that. I think people have a hard time choosing sometimes. And that if that's happening, I'm doing my job.
Right. Alex, I put a link in the chat, dude. The Megaron Moyarl is definitely the best knife under $50. I mean, this thing at 14C G10, epic action, great ergos. It's fucking $49. I mean, it's ridiculous. So Megaron does a great job, and I would recommend that knife. Bad for the battery. Danger is when you're pumping too many amps in or out at one time. That's when it could like light on fire or something. But I've heard of people saying the way you store it, like you could have them light on fire. Like that makes no sense then if they're nothing's going in or out. I don't know.
I'm at the point where first of all, I guess another reason I can't ever really get hooked on the flashlights is I just don't use them. I use light on my phone for indoors all the time.
Yeah. I use them constantly, dude. Like more than knives now.
That's good. You know, it's good. You found the utility in it, and then there's all these cool options. Like that's what's fun about the kind of stuff we're into. You'd crack up if you saw the dog walking flashlight, because my mother-in-law bought these things off probably QVC or Home Shopping Network. It's like a plastic loop with two flashlights at the end, and you loop it around your neck, and you can like angle them. You know, it's so dorky, dude. But you get two free hands and all this light. And my wife would go out with those things. I'm like, you'll never catch me dead in those. And now I'm out there walking the dog with those things at 5:30 in the morning.
That's great. What up, Steve? What's going on, man? Lumens are the measure of total light a device emits, whereas candela is the total light emitted in a particular direction.
Interesting.
Still fucking confusing, but
well, so
to me, it's just lumens is is flood and candela is throw.
Candela's
That's the
throw.
way my brain can operate it.
Different tools for different needs. Someone asked me, I saw a question for me. Let me answer it. What is the idea behind the ergonomics of the Vampire Jack? So Vampire Jack has a center swell, and those have been around for a long time in traditional knives. That there is an ergonomic component there, and there's kind of a hidden benefit. So if you were to take the scale off, there's a center screw, and that center screw is in that swell. And so by moving that center screw out to the swell, you get more room in the blade well. And so you could have a wider blade, which is kind of cool. And ergonomically, it's excellent. It's excellent. I saw a dude, I'm in a Facebook group. It's like for makers of slip joints and lockbacks. And this dude had a coffin handle in there, and it was really like dramatic, but it looked great. It's like I haven't seen someone else do a kind of an exaggerated coffin in a while, and I thought it was cool. Let's see here. Bought my first Jack Wolf before Christmas. Picked up the last After Hours Purple Blaze from Cutlery Shop. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that, Jay. Thanks for supporting Jeff over there at Cutlery Shop. He's such an awesome dude. You find an advantage of the dog light over headlamps. I probably haven't had a headlamp on, since I was at summer camp as a kid. So I can't really comment. Just the one around your neck, there's two lights. So you're getting arguably more. I don't know. It's kind of gimmicky, but it's pretty handy.
Arguably more what?
More light being produced because there's two instead of one. You know?
Of course. And you're getting that's the one thing I really like about the triple emitters is you're getting 3 LEDs flooding the area. Of course, you're going to get more light than if you have one, right? Like it makes way more sense to have one that you're directing somewhere with a reflector, and then you can throw that farther out. But with 3, it's a lot better in a shorter area. So 2 around your neck like that would be great for walking, because then you get to light up the right and the left side, because you're never going to have one light cover enough area when you're doing that. That'd be great.
Yeah, and if the light's on your head, like it's going to be lit up where you're looking, and that's okay. But like if you want to look ahead, you might step in something, whereas these double lights, I can kind of point one down and one forward, and it's extremely practical, this thing.
Yeah, it sounds gay, but it
is.
I'm sure it works. Yeah, Jesse, feel better, dude. I've been dealing with something too all week. I don't know what the hell. Started last Saturday. It's been like a mild flu or something. I don't know.
My son right now, dude, he's got 100 and plus temperature. My wife took him to urgent care. He has strep.
That sucks.
You had to pick a deployment method other than a top front flipper. What would be your next go-to option? Probably a thumb stud or a disc. I'm terrible at flicking open thumb studs, but I'm not huge on the back flipper. And so what are my other choices,
So studs are annoying to me. I rarely like a knife with studs. The fuller with the front flipper is great. I mean,
but yeah, he didn't mention fuller, but I've been using the fuller. He said if I had to pick something other than the top front flipper, and I presume
do a back flipper, right?
Yeah, I don't love back flippers. I guess they always look weird when the knife is closed. That's what I don't like.
You could build one in though.
Like
you gotta do a collab with Vero. Use his style.
Yeah. That I would probably lean that way. I just don't love the thing poking out the back, and that's probably the slip joint guy in me. Like you would never see something like that on a traditional knife.
I mean, Fitch pulls it off, I guess, with their.
They do. I think this is my preference. I'm not saying, that.
I think it
doesn't work.
I don't think you need to do anything different would be my thing. I love the fuller front flipper combo. It's like you get 2 options right there. Did you see this one from JD?
And please never use a Chinese wannabe fat carbon. So I've seen that stuff. It's the stuff that was
horrible,
on.
dude.
Horrible in what respect? Like, because it looks pretty good.
So when you get it in hand, it's like way too much color. It's way too uniform. Like it doesn't look random like carbon fiber should, and it honestly feels more like G10 than it does carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So you might have already done it.
No, I haven't. I mean, like, why would I? You know, they're picking the same color schemes as fat carbon.
They're literally copying fat carbon, which
it's a
to
knockoff.
me, they're going too far with it. Like to me, it's cool if like you want to try to do something similar, it's popular, but then literally copying exact color schemes is just like, hey, we're trying to steal your thing.
Yeah. No,
and people are using it, which you know is kind of annoying.
It's because it's cheap, dude. It like what I don't, you know, people might not realize this. It's expensive to get fat carbon over there.
It's dirt cheap over there. But I remember when Jim Skelton's new knife came out, or it was the second run of the Kaladin, he asked them for camo carbon, and that's what they ended up putting on it. He thought it was camo carbon. I got one in. I was like, dude, this is like that, or no, I just saw it. And I was like, this is that Chinese shit. And he was like, oh, fuck, because I thought it was camo. They were listing it as camo carbon and everything. So, like, they're looking and being like, okay, well, cost-wise, it's way cheaper. We could, you know, and they think we're like, I guess the average consumer is dumb enough to just let that go.
Yeah, and maybe it's just they think camo carbon is like saying Kleenex, you know, for tissue.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, you mean colorful carbon fiber? Yeah, we got that. Don't you worry, we got that. It's like, no, camo carbon's a brand from San Diego.
Ronald asked earlier about the nip slip. We haven't actually done a run of these yet, so these are just prototypes. We're like placing the order right now for the nip slips, so they should be in like mid-year. They should be in. So, and we're not doing a huge run or anything because it's a slip joint. You know, we don't know how well our, you know, being kind of like our first one with Austin. So, Kirinite is going to be on my next Jack Wolf.
Nice. Right on, Chris.
Okay, you're way ahead of me with this.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm just kind of watching them as they pop up on the right here, and if they're addressed to me, I'm just trying to answer them as they come in.
Use my light much more than my knife.
Javon, I mean, I use my
flashlights are over. I got him into them a little bit too, so
I use the light on my phone every single day. I mean, I do.
Yeah,
use
so
that
you
light.
gotta just not be gay and use an actual
one less thing
flashlight.
I gotta carry around, dude. I don't want to. I don't know. I've tried. I've given it the honest effort. I should sell some of my flashlights.
What do you got?
Well, I got that CWF.
I need one of those again.
All right. It's got a little bit of snail trail on it.
$20.
$20 off retail. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you should look, dude. None of those are going for retail.
I believe
Secondary is brutal right now. You can sell your Oklahoma for what you paid easy.
I'd probably keep that one. You know.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I had a buddy sold me that one, so that one's a little sentimental. Oh, look who's here. He brought his pig ear.
That would be the one to keep, probably. If you were keeping one light for EDC or whatever, it'd probably be the DCO.
I like that. I like that Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Even though I don't rarely use it. Yeah, I guess it's just those. I guess I would just sell the CWF to someone. I'd rather have someone have it who would use it, you know. And frankly, if I was to have a flashlight and maybe if I was traveling, I just want one I can plug into a USB. I don't want to deal with this freaking batteries in the charger anymore.
It's so easy, though.
It's annoying. It's annoying.
And if you don't use them, what does it matter?
What's that, dude? Because it's annoying. It's the charger thing. It's got to sit somewhere. You got to remember to take the batteries off, and then.
Why would you bring all that with you? You just bring some batteries with you, and then.
No, I'm just
saying. How long are you going away?
All I'm saying is I would prefer a USB chargeable flashlight. That would work for my
Well, let's be
lifestyle.
real. You've never actually done any of that.
No, you're
It's
right.
just the thought of it.
You're not wrong. Let's watch Oscar eat the pig ear. You guys get these? You get them at Amazon? They're pig ears with tattoos on them.
Nope.
Yeah, dude, they love these things. You know, I showed you last time. We got another puppy. We got another one of these guys.
Yeah.
And you know, my job in the morning is I got to hold pig ears for both of them. They sit on either side of me, and all the little one wants to do is eat this one's pig ear. You know, so it's like a thing.
Yep. I don't have a dachshund. That's in the pass round. And that's a good knife. I can still tell you what a good knife is. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna keep a knife with studs. I'll show you the knives I have.
What don't you like? What about the yeah, that one.
I have this Pena Alacron, which I really like it. It also has a really good front flipper though. You'll probably never catch me with a stud only knife.
Yeah, not stud only.
Very long. And I'm thinking about selling this. As much as I love it, I just don't know. The size is a little big.
It is big.
But it's a fantastic knife. That's, you know, I have this Fenrir Lefty from Concept that's got studs, but also has a front flipper. That's
an interesting looking knife. A little too fantasy looking for my taste, but
that's a Sparrow. I have a Microburst from Casey, which is a great knife, little budget knife. But if it had a hole, I'd probably like it more. That's pretty much it for like knives in my class. Oh, the Asher Titanium Spiro. This is probably the one that I would be like, yeah, I absolutely love this knife. Fucking wouldn't even trade it for a hole kind of thing.
So what don't you like about thumb studs? What is it you don't like about them? Is it not fidgety enough for you?
No, they end up being, because I'm so fidgety, they end up like shredding my fingers. The detents, like doing a reverse flick on thumb studs is a lot more difficult than with a hole. I prefer reverse flick over thumb flick. So basically to me, if you're a thumb stud guy, you like thumb flicking more. That's your priority. If you like holes, one, you're not gay, and two, you like reverse flicking over thumb flicking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
what about a disc?
Discs are really gay. The only one I've ever like loved is on this Cavil knife. The Demco has a square, thumb square.
I kind of like them. I don't know.
Thumb discs are horrible, dude. I can never get one where I don't slide off of it, or
I can't even comment on the use. I guess I'm just saying I like the way they look.
Like, I don't think they're clean looking. They're like tactile. They just remind me of Emerson's, which I want nothing to do with.
I don't know anything about Emerson's.
No offense to Emerson, but
it makes me think of some of the traditional style knives that some slip joint guys make as frame locks. Like, what's his name? Birdvis just did one, and the other dude,
what is it?
Meads. You know, Nick at Birdvis Knives. He made a frame lock out of his Hitchcock design.
Yeah, I saw him posting something. I wasn't into it, like design.
A couple prototypes. Well, it's the same as a slip joint, basically. So, but it had a disc. I thought it looked good, and
I can't stand the discs. Copper infused. It's okay. It was cool when it first came out, but I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of that one. I'd rather have like dark matter copper or something.
See here.
Yeah, I don't know if he was talking about the nip. We're doing a budget run of that one soon, but he said nip slips. I don't know.
Sorry, Palmer. I guess I was saying, I was talking about that knife he showed up. It was the profile of it. It looked real like a fantasy knife. Um, and so not fancy, but fantasy. Like it looks like a, I don't know, what was that knife you held up that had a thumb stud and a thumb flipper? And it had that almost like arrowhead looking blade.
A Fenrir?
That thing. Yeah, I mean, that's not my taste typically. It looks like a fantasy
Sparrow.
knife.
Same guy who designed this.
I'm not
Or
trying to
made
talk. Yeah, I'm not talking smack. I'm just saying it's
No,
not,
I know. I'm just
it's not
telling
my
you.
taste. It's like it strays very far from what I typically am drawn to. Looks like a Gil Hibben
I
knife.
really did not like this red dimpled stuff, but once I got it, I had it, I think, in blue once and hated it, but the red actually looks really good.
Yeah, red and black contrast well.
What's
Yeah,
up,
okay.
Divo? What's up,
Anthony
Roll?
mentioned the Matador. That's a superlative knife with a disc, and I think that looks pretty cool. But I guess I
Yeah,
just like that.
it wasn't bad. I had one in. It was like a long steak knife. The disc was
Yeah.
half decent though.
Yeah, it was like a pyramid. It was like stepped. It was stylized.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Kev sold all his lights. He'd be able to get a solid gold Rolex. I don't know about that, but funny thing is, I got all those lights in the last 2 months, maybe month and a half. Yeah, I got a whole case full.
All right, Twang Thang. Thanks for the support. Just got to decide which one. Let us know which way you lean. I got asked this question earlier today on a different live stream. Well, now Wharncliffe, we've done a couple Wharncliffes. We did the laid back jack and the Venom jack, so got you covered there. As far as the Hawkbill, I'm up in the air on it. I want to design one for sure. I think they look cool, and I think the blade actually does have a tremendous amount of utility. I just don't know what the market is for those things. That's my only concern with it.
Yeah,
and they're not fun to sharpen.
We're doing a Hawkbill on the budget nip. We're doing half. We're doing like half and half.
So like straight and then hooks down.
So it's
kind
the
of
same.
thing?
No, so it's the same. It's going to be the same knife, same handle, but we
Oh,
have
two different
half
blades.
of them will be the regular blade shape. Half of them will be Hawkbill.
I think that's a smart way to do it because then you're not going to overproduce something that maybe doesn't have the market.
Right. Still waiting on. We're doing protos first, obviously. I want to see if I saved them, man. I always suck at. It's always the one that I need to find that I can't find.
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have the file for that.
Dude, it was 70 degrees here today.
Yeah, it's been pretty cold here.
Today was like, you could have been outside in shorts, tank top, and a flip-flops today. Too hot for this time of year. It's annoying, honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people have talked about the O clip, saying they really like it. So,
you know, I have a little O light on my keychain. I never use it, but it's there. What else, guys?
Yo, Jack, your knife killed the
He's
cardboard
talking
cutting test like no other, bro.
Yeah, he's talking about Duty's daggers. He used a gunslinger on his cut test, and it was just zipping through stuff. So that was cool.
I mean, they're fucking thin, dude.
Yeah, you know, my stuff is, you know, okay. No knife can do everything. There's no such thing as a perfect knife, right? Like there's knives that focus on and design in lock strength over anything else. So they'll never fail a spine whack test. You know, there's knives that have 1/4 inch stock and wedgy flat grinds. You could probably hammer it into, you know, the mortar between two bricks and stand on it to climb over a wall. My knives are not those things. You know, my knives are fun to deploy. They'll open reliably one-handed. They're ground thin, so they'll slice extremely well. And they're you can break it if you abuse it. If you take one of my knives and drop it on its tip, I bet you'll snap it, onto some concrete. But if you want a knife that is going to do 99% of what you probably need to do with it, my stuff's great. You're really going to enjoy how it cuts. I wouldn't recommend treating it as a self-defense item. I wouldn't recommend treating it as a tactical folder. Wasn't designed for that, And I think where we get lost, whether it's spine whacking or blade grinds or this and that, is not all knives can do everything or will do everything, because anytime you make certain design choices, something has to be sacrificed, And
Yep.
so as a designer, I think it's important to communicate what are the expectations of this tool, because anybody who claims their knife can do it all, I think they're lying to you. And I think with my stuff, it's focused on, ease of deployment, great fit and finish, aesthetically pleasing for sure, and designed to slice. That's what my stuff's all about. But like a Demco, I think he's got a different philosophy. I think he designs his tools for a different type of use, which is awesome. It's nice that there's choices.
Right. But you're not going to slice anything with a Demco.
No, I mean, you're gonna have to put more effort into it. That's for sure. Javon, just going right at you.
About not being gay.
Not much.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure what. So where did he go? The guy who was asking about the nip slip, he said, I've been waiting for the natural one. I don't know what you mean by that, dude. Natural what? Natural nip? We never did a natural anything. There's an all stonewashed nip. That one's at White Mountain Knives. You can go buy it right now. I'm not sure.
I guess you guys, I'm not an expert on Demco. If he has a model that's thin behind the edge, I feel you. But when I think Demco, I'm thinking them giant.
I don't think he does.
I'm thinking like the cold steel stuff with the triad locks and then just the big chunky stuff. Like, isn't a lot of his stuff chunky?
Yeah.
And maybe that wasn't the best example,
It's a pretty goddamn good example. I mean,
I'll tell you what's interesting.
Triad lock and the shark lock, like,
I'll tell you what's interesting is, okay, I try to think of the best way I want to describe this. So I share an office space with a professional sharpener. He gets knives in for sharpening, and there's all kinds of requests. So it's interesting for me to kind of see what people want. Can't tell you how many times he gets in double-edged microtex where people want this thing to be sharper, and it's like, what do you want this to do? Well, it won't even cut paper. It's like, it's not designed to cut paper.
Right.
It's designed to stab into something. Like, this is not a utility knife. This is about the worst knife you could buy if you want a utility knife. It's literally designed to not break when you jam it through someone's ribs.
Right. Yeah, people are weird, man. Bill, I paid $1,700 for this, and it's not for sale. But if I ever sold it, it would probably be for $1,700. I just got the Fenner, and it's great. Probably one of the only designs from Concept I like. I actually just got another knife from Concept that's really cool. This is the Loki. It's got this wild-looking blade hole, which is funny because Brent called it a hot dog, and I never saw that until he said that. Now all I can see is like a penis.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I guess I am gay. But it's got a little bit of like gold around the edges, but look at this action, dude. It's like the size of the knife is literally perfect. If you're right-handed, it's got perfect ergonomics. This thing is really, really good. Left-handed, it kind of sucks. You gotta like it's like hard to get the right spot, but still comfortable. I mean, if you're willing to work around that. But If you're right-handed, the Loki is pretty sick from Concept. I think that's like the only new knife this week that I got in so far.
Dude, I broke down and I bought a knife for the first time in a while. I got to go grab it. Give me 1 sec. I haven't bought a knife in a long time.
The freaking nip lives on my desk, has been used often, still hasn't lost its edge. Something about flicking a nip daily. People who don't sharpen like a hawkbill. I don't know if that makes sense, but okay. Hell yeah, dude. Halt pre-order tomorrow, guys. Louis Dewey, baby. Shout out to Louis.
You're gonna make fun of me when you see this.
You bought this?
Yep.
This is a stiletto from who? Boker?
No. Latama. This is like a real Italian
dude.
one.
Custom?
I don't know if they're custom. I mean,
I thought they're custom maker. How much was it?
$4.25.
$4.25.
Yeah, right. $425, bro.
Oh, I thought you got it at the gas station.
No, I got this from PVK. He imports these.
Oh my
Look
god!
Look how sick that blade is,
dude. Why?
I love it. Just cause it's and it's like a traditional knife, dude. Look, brass liners, riveted construction, ram's horn scale, bolsters. Like, this is an Italian traditional knife. This is fucking cool. And the way you unlock it is it's got a swivel bolster. So you swivel this out of the way and it pulls this back and unlocks it.
Have you spine whacked it?
No, I don't want to break it.
That's the swivel lock.
Yeah. Well, this thing is awesome. It's a toy. Let's face it.
They're all, not all of them, but a lot of them are toys, guys.
That's why we buy them. Don't need more than one. And you don't need one that costs more than that $49.99 one you showed us.
Yeah, exactly. JD says, I'm picking at Kevin, not being sure. Oh. Yep, you guys are all just talking shit in the comments. Keep at it, guys. Keep at it.
I love this
I'll
thing,
keep
man.
ignoring them.
Got to break out of some West Side Story. Just wax open. Yep. I dig it.
Talking about blade shapes. Yeah, dude, that thing looks thick too.
Look at that fit and finish right there. Look at those gaps.
What's up, Kyle? I mean, is it well made?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And these are some of the best ones. I don't know. Some kind of stainless. It's not marked. It doesn't matter.
$400, it might matter a little bit.
No, you're paying for the craftsmanship. You're paying for the dude who sits down and
I guess
fits all the parts together.
I mean, all you're going to do is stab somebody with it, right?
I mean, hopefully not, but that's all it's good for.
Does it have an edge?
I mean, I could cut myself if I tried, but not much. But it's not. Look, it's pointy, dude. So if I jam this into someone's back, it's going in.
Right. Cub Shark. Oh, that new little one? Okay. Sure. But maybe that one wouldn't withstand as much abuse. I don't know.
Look at that 5mm spring stock and blade stock, bayonet grind. Just badass, dude.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between even a Demco slicer versus a Jack Wolf is going to be totally different. Just different, concepts.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's up, Rocky? How's it going, man?
You can flex this blade. Can you flex the blade of a Demco? This thing is designed. Look at that. And these are even thicker than the first ones. The first ones they did were so thin. When people would sharpen them with their guided systems and the stone was on it, the blades would bow. And in fact, I think they were a little like no one broke one, so that's good, but they were unnecessarily thin.
Something I coming to respect slip joints that require thought to be used. People squawk about the knife not locking, but half these locking knives out here are failing. Well, they're failing in the. Yeah, we talked about this already. Failing in the circumstance that, like.
Let's just talk about what he means about a slip joint. You have to be deliberate with its use. I would argue you should be careful and deliberate with any tool that could hurt you, because let's just say you're cutting and you snap the blade and you're putting leverage into it. I mean, you could injure yourself in more ways than just a failed lock. So you just got to be careful, you know, like use common sense. If you have a tool and you're using it beyond its reasonable use, you'll probably be okay, but there could be consequences to that, you know?
Yeah.
And with a slip joint, I think you're inherently more aware of it, which is kind of like a built-in safety in and of itself, you know?
Yeah, Ed, we're going to make more.
It's like having a firearm. Like, don't point it at someone, even though you know the thing has a mechanical safety. It's like you can't hurt anybody if you never pointed at them.
I mean, I think I would make an argument that a slip joint with a finger choil is about as safe as you can get, because you can't close it on yourself. So you're literally in control of the whole situation. But then again, any knife with a finger choil is kind of the same way. That's why I like finger choils.
Man, the only thing that might happen on a finger choil is what if you could slide forward during your work? You're so close to that cutting edge.
Yeah, but again, then you're just being a dumbass.
Well, usually that's really how
what it all comes down to.
Happen.
People being dumbasses.
Yeah, exactly. Hand satin. Do you have a hand satin one from me yet? I don't think you do.
I have that one.
Oh yeah. What do you think of the hand satin? You're not much of a hand satin guy.
In a second, but I have it.
I know. I forgot.
No, I like it. It's probably my second favorite finish.
Next to the old belt.
I mean, I have knives. Like if I can't get a belt satin, I'll go with a hand satin.
Got it.
That would be my other choice. I do
it's
like
really
this.
Smooth.
I got this knife recently from CKF, the Dabless.
Was that just blasted?
It's a CKF wash. So I think I think the way they do it is like yeah, it's fucking be blasted.
Yeah, that's a fancy way of saying.
They call it whatever they want.
Media blasted.
We call it a sand wash on the growler because it's they tell us that they do a sand wash then a bead blast, but I don't know. It looks really good though, so it's fine. It hasn't rusted on me because it's not M390. M390 fucking rusts worse than anything. I'm telling you.
I mean, you know what? I'm not, knock on wood here. I've not had one complaint yet on any of this S90V with pepper spots or anything. But on the M390, I did have a handful of them.
Yeah. I did have it on my Feel Good in that Knife of the Year video. That's because I stored it wrong. I used it and then I didn't clean it, or I didn't put wicked. I don't know. I usually put wicked wax on them.
You're the only one, dude. But then again, like you said, you can rust anything.
Yeah. I definitely remember cutting fruit or something and then putting it away. And I meant to put wax on it before I set it away, and I didn't. So that's what happens when you do that.
Jesse made a comment. I think a slip joint with the strongest spring would be fine. I'd be surprised if the shock could overcome the spring tension. Then it would pop to half stop anyway. I'll tell you this much. When you get into the real high dollar custom slip joints, a lot of them have very medium springs. And really nothing's going to cause that knife to close other than force being applied. And when you're cutting this way. So force is being driven towards the spine. So as long as you're cutting with a slip joint,
Well,
or
the
any
theory
knife,
is if
any
you're
knife.
cutting and you get stuck in the material and then you like try to pull back or something. That's the argument people will make on that. Latama uses 440C apparently.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it appeared to be some kind of stainless. I just selected this one off Jeremiah's recommendation, and they had some abalone ones, but I don't want to spend the extra money for the abalone, but they're pretty cool. Just a classic, man. Traditional knife, you know?
What's up, level on up? It's cracking. Let's see. Can we get a Jack Wolf modern traditional stiletto?
Man, I don't know. It's not a bad idea. The problem is, like, you can't import autos. You know, if you could import an auto, I probably would have already designed one, just because, I don't know, it would be cool. And I don't want to like import the parts and put it together. I don't have time for that.
I just don't like autos all that much.
I mean, I'm not in love with them, but I'd like to sell some because people love them.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. What up, man? Yeah, it was good meeting you. I don't know if you're talking to me or Ben, but I'm down. I'm down for live streams. I know Ben is too.
What we do, man.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and thank you for the 5 bones. Gonna give you the head rocker.
Javon said, how do EDC import the pulse? I don't know, man. I mean, look, you can do anything and you can get away with it.
The debt collector, Jack.
That's it. So I don't know, man. If someone can prove me wrong and show me like legally that I can do that, I'd be interested. But that's not my understanding.
Say that again.
Import autos from China. Someone asked. Javon
you
said,
can import them, but you have to assemble them.
Yeah, you got to import parts.
Yeah.
He said, how did EMP
EDC? As far as I know. But why not have ProTech make it or something? I don't know.
We're supposed to have the conversation. Do they do OEM stuff?
I think
those guys can't even make their own knives.
I mean, they made that button lock for James brand.
Maybe. I mean, they probably made 1,000 of them. You know.
I mean, I've tried asking them. They wouldn't talk to me, but I think they just said they have too much going on. But
who knows? I don't doubt it. I mean, I got enough on my plate at the moment.
How did EMP import the Pulse OTS? It's a good question. I don't know. I'm assuming they put them together. Best Tech made them, and then they put them together. But it's possible if you try to just import them and you don't, you can maybe try to get away with it. Doesn't necessarily mean it's illegal.
Right. I'm not interested in that.
I don't know why Casey's talking shit on you, but he is.
No. He's saying that my appearance was, well, he's blaming it on you that my appearance is not very good.
He's totally saying that you suck tonight. I don't know.
Apparently.
Whatever.
What's up with that, Casey? Huh?
Yeah, why are you talking shit, bro? I love autos, but yeah, see, here's the thing with autos. If I'm gonna carry an auto, it's gonna be an OTF because I can open it and close it with one hand. It's fidgety in that sense. For me, fidgety is repeated action, right? Am I carrying a fidget? No. But like open, close, open, close, open, close. Like on a pocket knife, I'm flicking and closing, flicking and closing. With an auto, but out the side auto, you're pushing a button, which is kind of fun. But then you have to push the button, close it again with 2 hands, click it again. It to me, it doesn't feel the same way as a slip joint does with 2 hands because I don't know. It's just totally different to me. Like click, and then I got to push and shut. Where this is, I'm repeating the same thing over and over. I mean, I guess you are, but it's just not, I don't know. It doesn't feel the same to me as a slip joint or, flicking a knife like this. Because I can
on the slip joint, every time you do something, it's you're engaging the spring. On an auto, you load the spring, release the spring, load the spring, release. It's like it's different. It is different. Like that's why the OTF would be a better comparison. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Yeah. But the OTFs cut like shit, dude. Pretty much all of them. They're just too. They're always designed for self-defense. They're never designed for slicing like a good slip joint.
That's right. ProTech did make the Arcform knives. But what you got to know is I'm pretty sure the Arcform guys are part of Blade HQ, and they have a really strong relationship, so they can get them to do shit like that. I can't just be like, hey, ProTech, can you make me stuff? Like, they won't. If it's going to benefit their relationship of something, then I guess they'll do it. I don't know. Can you even carry a knife in China? I always wonder that. Like, what are their rules on knives?
Probably. I mean, usually I bet you carry a slip joint over there if I had to guess. But who knows?
Just got my hands on a pony stout this week and fell in love and already bought another yesterday. Popped in the skiffs today. Phew, can't wait for the premium. Hell yeah, dude. The premium ones are, I think QSP just wrapped those up. So we are, same thing happened last year where we had 4 knives just finish up like all at once. So we have the Stout V2, the Growler V2 second run, the Mash 2.5, and the premium ponies are like all done right now.
Yeah, they're getting it all done before the new year.
Yeah, which is what I asked for, which is good, but I didn't expect it to actually happen.
Well, there's not as many knives being made right now. The market's slowing down.
You think so?
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
I do think so.
I guess
the market's slowing down, and ask any seller.
We'll try to spread those out a little bit though, so they don't all hit at once. Obviously, I guess we try to keep quantities down, just because that's how we like to do things. Not trying to push and just sell as many as we can. So I guess that helps in a way. We don't have to worry about it too much. But I guess we'll find out. They need to make more Sparrows and MagnaCut. Sparrow. Didn't he just drop he just dropped a V2. Isn't that in MagnaCut? Jack Wolf Fixie?
That makes the most sense out of like auto or, like if I had to choose between an auto and a fixed blade, that's a easier goal to achieve. It's just a complicated project because it's not just the knife. It's the knife. It's the sheath. It's the packaging. It's like it's like a from scratch situation with that.
You could fit a small one in the tube.
Not the sheath.
Maybe.
No, dude. There's just no way. So then it's like you got to figure the sheath out, and you got this. I'll get there. I'd like to have that. That's kind of the logical next step in the product line would be slip joint, locking knife, fixed blade. You kind of cover all the bases there, If you want to have kind of a flashlight, if you want to have a round catalog, I really like to start tinkering around with lockbacks, like traditional lockbacks.
Yeah.
I went, maybe not a ton of them, but like a big bro lockback would make a lot of sense,
Lockbacks are cool.
They are cool.
Any idea why the pulse? No, I have no idea. I didn't even notice that. Let's start with the premium stouts. Well, luckily the pony stouts and the growlers are going to White Mountain Knives. Those are their exclusives, so they'll go to them. They'll QC check them. They'll do the drops. We'll spread them out, but it helps because we don't have to QC all of these knives that are coming in all at once. Actually, we broke it up pretty good. So White Mountain Knives will have those two. Colin is QCing the Stout V2s, and I'm QCing the Mash 2.5s. So nobody has to go killing themselves. A lot of stock sitting on the shelves. Yeah, I mean, but you got to anticipate that when you order thousands of something, right? Like nobody's
just in general, the
expecting things
market
to just sell out instantly.
No, look at the secondary market. It's a
It's
totally
terrible.
different secondary. Well, I mean, it's going to be to some degree a direct reflection of the primary market too.
What's up,
You know,
Donnie?
like the secondary slows down. All luxury goods are down. These are considered luxury goods. So it's not just knives. It's firearms.
They're all good.
Cars. It's watches.
They're all good. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But like knives, I keep hearing, I don't buy many knives secondary, actually, at all. But people always tell me how great of deals they're getting on stuff. So that's just bad. That's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know it. But I mean, good for buyers, bad for sellers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I see it with the flashlight stuff because I bought some really sick lights for like, you know, they're like $500 lights and I've gotten them for $250 or whatever.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I would say the norm is, yeah, you know, 30 to 50% off retail on stuff. Just what it
Which
is.
is crazy because
that's a normal secondary market, in all honesty. Like the secondary market during the COVID period was not normal. That was not normal at all.
Yeah.
That was a bubble.
Well, it also depends on the brand and the quantities and all that shit. If you got something rare enough, people will overpay for it.
There's just much less of that now than there was before.
Yeah.
And it's going to flush out brands that aren't able to maintain market share. Like that's what happens. So you'll see small brands disappear. You'll see brands that aren't willing to compete disappear. And then the cycle will happen all over again.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the giveaway because I got to wrap it up soon. I got to try to go to sleep early, which I won't, and then I'll suffer tomorrow, which is what happens every time. But, you know, whatever. What I have for you ladies tonight is some stickers to use, stickers, circle of knife sticker and whatnot. I have an SRM knife, real fancy knife here tonight for giveaway. This is the white SRM. I don't even know what it's called, but it's actually not bad. It's crossbar lock. They did a pretty good job on these. And the cool thing about these is the clip. So on these, you just pinch right here and then push, and the clip pops out. And then you can reverse it over.
Interesting.
Just squeeze. Probably the coolest budget clip I've ever seen, honestly. I'll put it on the right side because most likely you're going to be right-handed if you win. I'd love to figure out a way to incorporate that clip design somehow in a more premium way. I don't know if that would work out of titanium, but it would be pretty sick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was clever. Good engineering.
Yep.
Oh, Ian's got a Bijan. Very nice. I am a fan.
So we got that, and then I have a flashlight. This is the new Rovivon E200S. So this is the one I think my video is out on it, my review. This thing's pretty wild, actually. Come on. Come on out, boy. Ugh. So this thing has, they call it the angel eyes. It's got a dual emitter setup on top and then a triple emitter setup on the front. So you hit it up here and it has a bunch of different modes. So if you hold down, it'll turn on. And then when you hold, it'll just ramp up and down. if you double click, you get normal cycle modes, which is pretty cool. And then on the front, you have another switch over here. You can go full blast or double tap and then cycle through. And they're actually different emitters. So the one on the front here is like 5,000 K, and this one's like 6,500. So they're different, and they're pretty fucking bright. It's actually a really cool flashlight. So giving that away. See if I can get it back in this box without, there we go, too much trouble. And we're good. So those two things tonight. You pick up any new dealers lately?
It looks like I'll get Canada. I've got to send paperwork over there tomorrow. Just make sure that we're all on the same page as the terms. House of Knives. I met the president, Andre, super nice guy at Blade Show, which I was stoked about because, man, I get quite a bit of
yeah, I get that question a lot, and it's like, it's just such a hassle, it feels like, for Europe and Canada.
I'm everywhere else at this point, so
yeah,
I'm pleased to do it. And so I got that. And then there's a lady who very persistent from the Republic of Georgia, which is like a former Soviet republic, out there by like Turkey. And she was super persistent, like not rude or anything, but this late, her name, Maia, M-A-I-A, I guess you say Maia, really well dressed, very professional, came by my table every day. Like, I want to talk to you before you leave. And we're hoping a high-end knife store in Georgia. And I'm like, Georgia, like this Georgia? She's like, no, the country. And she followed up with me. She emailed me multiple times, never like too many in a row, and I was like, I respect her hustle. So I'll probably end up sending knives over there. She sent me a picture of her store. It's all really nice. I don't know anything about the Republic of Georgia, but Jack Wolf Knives very well may be for sale there coming soon.
That's wild.
Yeah. Most people won't even be able to point at it on a map. And if you ask me, I don't think I'd be able to do it either.
Yeah, I don't know. Where would it be? Next to Kazakhstan or something?
I think it's in that area, like east of Turkey.
Republic of Georgia. Let's take a look. So
some of those places have like, yeah, it's
Armenia. Right. So this is like Azerbaijan and Armenia.
Azerbaijan. Yep, and there's Turkey.
So that's like southern Soviet.
Yeah.
The only reason I even know about it really is from GoldenEye. Wasn't the Funk Johnson, wasn't her character from Georgia?
I don't know. I haven't seen GoldenEye in a really long time.
Pretty sure her character was from Georgia somehow.
My grandfather immigrated from Armenia. My mom's dad.
Oh yeah? Well, there you go.
Yep.
I'm from.
Hopefully, they aren't against
I'm from
the Armenians.
Good old Deutschland, baby. I'm from Hamburg, right here. Right here.
That's where Maxie's located.
I know. I really want to. When I'm over there, I definitely want to stop by there. She's from Altona.
Yep.
Well,
you definitely need to, dude. If you're in that area, you'd be crazy not to.
Yeah, dude. I've been down into where the shop is, just not knowing what it was last time I was there. Where's me stomping grounds? Should be it's northern. There's the airport. We're right there. Where's Neendorf, baby? Give me that Neendorf. Here it is, right here. There's the old stomping grounds, baby. T-Box Center. That's like the little market.
You don't pronounce the R.
We used to get the fish freaking down. They're like fish fucking hash browns or something. I forget. What would you call that, I guess?
I
They're
don't
like
know.
fish sticks, but like wide. That was the only
Nice.
time in my life I ever ate fish. Was
Like
when
a
I was like a
McDonald's
little kid and
hash
I had
brown,
no
but
idea what I
fish.
was doing.
What do you mean
Fish
you don't eat
freaking down,
fish?
baby.
Do you have the palate of like a child? Like you don't eat fish?
I know I don't eat fish, dude.
What else don't you eat?
I don't eat a lot of stuff, dude. I don't like roast beef.
What?
I'm not a big fan of turkey. Like I'll eat it if I have to, or it's like
So
whatever.
let me guess. You eat chicken nuggets, French fries, and macaroni and cheese.
No, I don't really like any of those things too much.
What do you eat?
I did
bro?
grow up on chicken fingers though when I was a kid. That was like my go-to was chicken fingers and fries. Now I'm not I'll eat macaroni and cheese, but it's not like my thing or anything. I don't know. I just don't. There's certain things I don't like.
But fish is like not a thing. It's like an entire category.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like lobster tail, I can eat.
What about shrimp?
If I get like buttered lobster tail, shrimp, it's always hit or miss. The problem is I've had so much bad fish that like I just don't want to try it.
I mean, it's hard to have like
Yes,
salmon's
I don't like
usually
pork
good.
either, dude. Pork, like I'll eat. Okay, I take that back. I don't like the white meat pork. I like bacon. I like sausage. Like I like stuff like that. I just don't like white meat pork, like pork chops and shit. That's gross.
Oh man, a good pork chop is hard to beat.
No, I don't like salmon either.
Salmon's pretty
You don't drink beer
safe
anymore. Yeah, no,
fish.
I don't drink beer anymore. What was that?
I don't know, did you hear something?
It was wild. I don't know.
Pretty much eat anything.
But anyway, I should probably wrap it up. Let's do the giveaway. What should we do? Hashtag
fish.
All right. I'll do hashtag fish. You want to fuck around? All right. We'll fuck around.
For Kevin.
I don't know why you think fish makes, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. Can I do this? No. How do I fucking make that one little? Then Ben's gone. How do we? I can move my. Nope, can't. All right, whatever. I'll pull it back up later. Hashtag fish.
For Kevin.
Borat country? No, Borat was from Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kev lives on soda and D10. I'm drinking a fucking LaCroix, bro.
He lives on KPL.
Yeah. KPL knife shield and rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. And Superglue.
Yeah, that's the heavy meal. Superglue. Oh, man. Here, I got a wild knife for you to check out. Look at this thing, dude.
Look at that. And it's got the rhino clip point, your favorite.
Yep.
And thumb studs.
Yep.
It's perfect for you. What is that, dude?
Kaiser Huntsman. It's actually, do you know James Lowe?
Yeah.
He designed it.
Really?
Australian
yeah, guy. Yeah. Man.
That's his design. Kaiser Huntsman.
I mean, that's a knife.
It's fucking insane, dude. It's definitely not my style, but dude, the build quality from Kaiser on this is insane. It feels like an Evo, and it's like $190. But yeah, that's James's design.
It's definitely impractical, but if you are into the design, it sure looks like it's fun to play with.
Hashtag fish dick.
How many entries do we have so far?
How do you remove super glued pivot? You just unscrew it. That's the beauty of a super glued pivot. Well, okay, hold on. Unless you go too far, like you got to use a very small amount of super glue and then it'll just break right open. Because super glue is very strong in this kind of force, like this kind of force, but if you twist it, it'll just shatter. So think of it that way. If you put super glue in there, it's not going to want to just naturally walk. It's strong enough to hold from just flicking. But as soon as you take the bit and turn it, it'll just snap the Loctite or the glue. Unless you pour it in there like a madman. You know? But literally, I mean, probably 80% of the knives that I take apart, I super glue. And I don't have an issue. Like this one, this is a $700 knife or $800 knife. This is super glued. No problem at all. It's butter.
Now, does the brand of glue matter? Do you prefer Crazy Glue or Gorilla Glue?
I really prefer Gorilla Glue because they sell it in this pen.
Oh, nice.
So I can take this off and then I can get a really, really tiny amount on it. What I do is I try to get a little bead onto the thread and then I back off. And what happens is the glue will just kind of, it'll want to stretch out, right? Because it doesn't just like break right off. So you get like a string of glue. So I'll just take a tiny bead onto the thread, then I'll turn the screw as I pull away, and it'll just wrap a little bit of glue around the threads. And then I put it in the key is you got to be quick and you can't fuck around. Like it's not like Loctite where you can sit there and adjust it a bunch and then let it sit. You have to fucking go for it. But if you watch any of my disassemblies where I use glue, you can see how I do it. But you definitely, I learned the hard way that you don't want to use too much.
Palmer said you like that packaging so you can eat it on the go. That is funny, man. Or you guys could just use purple Loctite, which is made for said application. I don't know.
Purple Loctite? Dude, blue doesn't work half the time.
Purple's designed for fasteners under a 1/4 inch. Everybody uses blue on screws. It's not designed for. Bro, I've never had a purple Loctite loosen on anything I use it on. I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, there are some glues that take longer. So here's the thing. I want it to be instant, fast, because the problem with Loctite is you got to wait.
Great.
2 days
Set it down.
to use your knife.
No, you got it the next day. Just pick it up the next day.
You don't know how many times I've done that, and it just walks right away. I have to wait 2 days for Loctite to cure.
I don't know. I've never had that problem.
Yeah, well, it's probably because you're in Arizona
could be
where it's dry as fuck.
It is dry.
It's definitely been better since I moved into this house where I have central air. I have air moving in and out versus just like humid ass room with a window air conditioner. You know what I mean?
Just living in an armpit before.
I mean, it didn't feel like that, but I don't know, I guess. That is your Lefty super glue lesson for the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the Kershaw Bel. The Bel Air is sick, man. Such a good knife.
Is that the one that kind of looks like a bug out that USA made one people are talking about?
I don't think it looks like a bug out because it's a sheep's foot.
Well, just the overall package to me screams bug out, you know?
Sure.
Like they're definitely trying to compete with the bug out with that thing, are they not?
I guess. I mean, it's a crossbar lock, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, similar size, similar handle shape. It just looked to me like their version of a bug out. I couldn't tell you what a bug out. I couldn't tell you what a blade a bug out had on it. I've never owned one.
Pennsylvania, Palmer. Bug out is a drop point. It is definitely a bug out killer. I'll use Loctite. Like it depends on the scenario. Like I think on my X mid, I used Loctite because I just wanted to make sure. Like there's some knives where I want to be able to make those adjustments. Like on my Paramour here that I just Loctited, but I had to wait 2 days to pick this back up, which sucked. Because, you know, you get a new knife, you want to fucking carry it. But this one I Loctited the other day. I have video.
All you have to do is not take your new knife apart, and you can carry it just fine. You just can't not mess with shit.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not perfect, man.
Right.
It needed skiffs to get that closing sound right.
Think of what you just said, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Only a crazy person would say some shit like that.
What do you think we are, dude? We're sitting here on a live stream talking about pocket knives.
Well, no lies detected.
All right, let's do the giveaway. And why does it say? Oh, right. Okay. Nope.
How many entries? 70?
There we go. 70. That's enough for me.
Yep. Let her rip.
Here we go. Who's it gonna be? Who it gonna be?
Let's go.
Oh, Jesse with the win, dude. What up? Good for
J
you.
to the A.
Jesse. Sick, man. Shoot me over a email with your ad. I don't know how many times I say it every fucking time. I say, shoot me an email with your address. And I give the email. They always DM me. And then I'm like, can you email me? Because that's how I keep track of shipments. Like, yeah. I'm not going to go to I'm not going to remember that you DM me. So if I have an email, then I'm like, all right. But I don't know. People are weird. Like, Colin has like 800 million emails. He doesn't clear his emails.
Dude, my wife, bro. There's like 12,000 unread messages. I can't.
Dude, I have literally right now in my email, I have 7 because I haven't cleared it in the last hour and a half. It's insane how many emails I get. How much time do you spend just deleting emails? It's insane.
I'm managing email 24/7, dude. I mean, I
have 3 emails right now.
I keep them in my inbox until I've dealt with them. I almost treat it like a to-do list. I might have 40 or 50.
That's exactly what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way. We probably manage our affairs similarly.
It boggles my mind that he does it. Like, how do you keep track of anything?
You don't.
I guess you could have a to-do list instead, but then you're just adding stuff to a to-do list. I email myself stuff. So, like, if I need to send this to this guy or whatever, I'll create an email to my Lefty email and I'll say, ship this to Bob. And I'll put his address in the subject. And then when I get to it, I have that info. That's how I don't forget shit. I have 40K unread. Yeah, you're insane.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have a to-do list. I have my email inbox. People send me DMs. People send me messages on Facebook Messenger. I mean, it becomes a little overwhelming sometimes. There's my personal email, my Jack Wolf email, the support Jack Wolf email, my email for my other business.
I use it all on the mail app.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
So it's all in one inbox technically, and then I just clear through everything. It is utterly insane how many bullshit emails you get a day, though. Like, it's crazy. But I don't know how much time I spend clearing emails on my phone, reading through DMs on every app ever. I respond to every fucking thing I can. Comments on YouTube, like, but it takes I totally understand the people who don't because it takes away from, I mean, it literally takes away time from like my family and shit because I'm sitting there just on my phone fucking working. But, you know, it comes down to how you want to, that way I always feel like I'm caught up. I feel good about it. Now, it does suck when you're sick or something like that and you really don't want to. And then it's like, I get like anxious because like I want to get through all that shit and I can't just let myself chill. That's when it gets annoying. Anyway, sorry. Jesse, if you could email me.
I just got an email from Casey with the subject line extra email. And it says, "You're welcome." Thank you, Casey. That's what we need. I bet. Oh, it's to both of us, actually, now that I look.
I don't need an extra.
You're a pal, Casey.
You know what I would do with that? Immediately? Archive. Gone. Yep. Peace.
You don't hit the little archive button in the corner. You do the double maneuver.
What's the button? Teach me.
Here. Oh my God, bro.
Oh, you mean you like select them or something?
No, that.
Yeah, but you actually had to go into the email.
Well, yes, because I'm usually going through them.
So you did the double.
I suppose, but you still had to go wop wop, and I went wop wop. So
yeah,
I guess
so
it's
either way, we're
I guess
good.
it's a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw, dude.
It's a draw.
There
There's
we go.
nothing
Thank
more
you,
frustrating in this world when the mail app doesn't work right for some
Oh.
reason.
When it
Dude.
doesn't want to load. You know what's the worst? Is when it was happening for the longest time where my MacBook, for some fucking reason, was not syncing properly.
Yes.
It was maddening. The worst, dude. Like I didn't see any of my new shit. It would just give me like, all of a sudden I had 4,000 emails unread. And I'm like, what are these? And I have to delete them all again. It made no sense.
Yeah.
It's frustrating when that happens. My phone is usually good.
Yeah. The older versions of Apple Mail, I've been using it for a really long time. I had like massive inboxes and I would have to go and delete all these like system files, and it would give me the worst anxiety every single time, and it would have to rebuild the mailboxes and like re-download everything, and I was like, oh my God.
And guys, you know I'm just going to delete anything you send me, right? I'm getting all these emails now.
Oh, you guys are the worst. That's hilarious. What was your first email address before we go?
Oh, my first email address is fucking classic, dude. It was timsgay@hotmail.com. You want to know what my brother's name is?
Tim.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
I think his was like kevsafag@hotmail.com.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that was my first. What was yours?
Mine was sirben187@hotmail.com. I had that one.
Sirben?
Sirben, SIRBEN 187@hotmail.com. And then, which I think is gone now. Yeah, you know. And I used to, so we had this internet provider back in the day called Prodigy. There was like AOL and Prodigy in the 80s and the early 90s. And I don't remember what email address I had with Prodigy back in the day, back when we were on dial-up.
Oh, Jesus, dude. Yeah, we had AOL way back in the day, dial-up. Remember AIM?
Yeah, AIM was the OG. There was actually something before AIM or AIM called ICQ. Does anybody know what ICQ is? It was like an internet-based messaging platform, and it was before AOL Instant Messenger. And Instant Messenger, you used to be able to, like, you used to have to subscribe to AOL to use Instant Messenger, but then they made it available to anybody who signed up for it. That was like a big deal. And because I remember AOL when it was like a platform, when you would dial up to AOL servers and log in, and like it was their whole platform.
That's what I remember. Be sitting there at night talking to kids from school.
Yeah.
That shit was wild, man. Good old days.
Palmer says I was born in 2006. I'm a little bit older than you, bud. I was born in 80.
Yeah, I was born in 88. All right, you guys can chill with the fucking emails.
Oh, you guys are just blowing up, Kevin.
No, I just got a couple, but still annoying. All right, let's wrap it up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You got to get up at a normal time like the rest of us tomorrow for once?
Yep. No, I got to get up at like fucking 5:30 or something tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what time my alarm's set for every day. What are you even talking about?
Why do you get up that early?
I got to between 5:30 and 5:45. I got to shower. I got to walk the dog. I got to get my daughter to school. I got to eat some breakfast. Like, there's a lot of shit to do. It's whack.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thanks for coming out. Pick up a sharpshooter tomorrow at 2 p.m. And don't forget, there's also a pre-order for Addicted to Knives Knife. Support Louie. He's a good dude. The Halt. So pick up 2 knives tomorrow. And yeah, anything you want to cover, Ben? You usually like to shout out your Facebook group.
Yeah, let's do that. Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide on the Facebook. We do a lot of cool stuff. If you ever want to get the branded Northwoods Leatherworks leather slips, really it's the only place you're going to find out when they're available. And it's a good collector's corner. We also have a secondary buy-sell trade thread we do twice a month, kind of restart it. And like we were talking about earlier, good deals on the secondary. So if you want to try Jack Wolf but don't want to pay full price, dip your toe in on the secondary.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you, man.
Always.
Later.